said, like there's a lot of rich people out there. They should be caring more about the country, because the reason they should be caring more about the country is if America falls, what do you think is going to happen to your business? What do you think? Do you think you're going to be okay if the ship of America sinks? Of course not. Like what I'm doing here, what the president's doing, is it's just long-term thinking. The ship of America must be strong. The ship of America cannot sink. If it sinks, we all sink with it.
This is what drives you.
Yes.
This is important. It says tech support. So you're not trying to be president, as the media suggests. You are really here because your heart and your passion is this. And the president described you as being, this is the biggest thing you've ever done. Now you're trying to bring sight.
There could be nothing bigger.
You're sending ships up to Mars, spaceships up in the sky all the time, and saving astronauts. That's pretty big.
That's peanuts compared to what we're talking about. Yeah.
You agree with that?
Well, it's essential that America be healthy, that America's economy be strong. Yeah. And my concern is, like, if America is the central pillar holding up Western civilization, that pillar must be strong. If that pillar falls, the whole roof comes crashing down.
Including his ships.
There's no place to hide.
Including his ships.
There's no place to run.
Nothing. There's nothing left.
Why, if this is your goal, your motivation, you're losing money in the process, you do all these nice things for people for free, you're trying to solve, blindness, you're going to rescue astronauts, you help the people in North Carolina, California. You're cutting money that was sent abroad that's not helping the American people, then why the rage?
It was not helping the American people and hurting people overseas, to be clear.
Why this rage against you now? First they hated him, now they hate both of you.
Well, I think we're seeing an antibody reaction from those who are receiving the wasteful and fraudulent money.
They're being exposed.
Yes.
Nobody wants to be exposed when
I'll tell you a lesson I learned at PayPal. You know who complained the loudest? And the quickest and the loudest and with the most amount of righteous indignation? The fraudsters. That's who complained first, loudest, and they would generally have this immense overreaction. That's how we knew they were the fraudsters. Mm-hmm. That's how we knew. There's to tell.
I've never met you before today, yeah. And it's nice to meet you, by the way. Thank you for doing this. You guys are really friends. I could see you kicking up your shoes.
Well, he doesn't do this kind of thing. And the way I figured that you'd get to know him is if I did it with him. I said, come on, let's do it together. Yeah. He doesn't do this. I think he's smart in not doing it overall because, he's done very well without doing it. But he doesn't feel it's really worthwhile. He wants the product to speak for itself, or whatever he does speak for itself. But he views it as, does it matter? And I'm doing this with you today because I wanted to have people understand him. And I think it's very important. I disagree with him, but I think it's very important that they do understand him. He doesn't need this. He doesn't need it. Now, I happen to think it's made him very popular. I think he's more popular now because there are so many people. You're talking about the radical left. They have the lowest ratings. MSNBC is dying. CNN is dying. They're all dying. The New York Times is doing lousy. The Washington Post is doing horribly. They're all doing badly because people don't buy it anymore. But I think it was important that he do this one interview. You've been a very fair guy. I think you were the right guy to do it. If we could get some radical left guy, and he'd do just as well, frankly, because it's all about common sense.
They would attack him as being unconstitutional,
Sean, to me, this was
fascist.
It was important for people to understand. He's doing a big job. He's doing a very thankless job. It's really a thankless job. But he's helping us to save our country. Our country was in serious trouble. And I had to get the best guy, somebody with credibility. Because if he were just a regular, very good, solid businessman, he wouldn't have the credibility. He's got the best credibility for this. And people also know he's an honest guy. He's an honest guy. He's just a very, very smart guy who's done amazing things. And this will be the biggest thing he's ever done. Because, his companies are all great. But if this country goes bad, I guess where he is a little selfish is this. He knows one thing and probably doesn't think. But if this country goes bad, his stuff is not going to be worth very much, I can tell you.
Like I say, if the ship of America sinks, we're all going down with it. This idea that people can escape to New Zealand or some other place is false. If the central pillar of Western civilization, that is America, falls, the whole roof comes crashing down and there is no escape.
Do you anticipate you'll be here 4 years? My last question.
I'll be as helpful as long as I can be helpful.
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, I was thinking about that just now. I said, I wonder how long he's going to be doing it. You can't get somebody like this. He cares, and he's brilliant, and he's got energy. You need energy also, in addition to those other things. You know, I have a lot of guys that are very smart, but they have no energy. They want to sleep all day long. You need a lot of energy. He's got a lot of energy. He's doing a great job. If there's any conflict, he will stop it. But if he didn't, I'd stop it. I'd see if there's a conflict. I mean, we're talking about big stuff. But he's under a pretty big microscope.